All right, we're talking Pulitzer Prize winner, chart-topping hits, cultural icon, the one and only Kendrick Lamar. We're going deep today.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. I
Yeah.
mean, what a journey, right? From Compton to the global stage. Talk about raw talent, artistic evolution, and using your voice to make a difference.
Absolutely. And we've got his Wikipedia page to guide us through it all, which, by the way, reads like a hip-hop history book at this point.
It really does.
So buckle up. Whether you're already a fan or just trying to figure out what all the hype is about, this deep dive is for you.
For sure. And we're going all the way back to his roots. We're
Right.
talking Compton, California, a place where, yeah, there's gang violence, but there's also this vibrant music scene, this rich history of storytelling. And you can really see that duality reflected in his music.
Oh, absolutely. It's like those two forces, the struggle and the art, they're kind of like intertwined in his DNA. You get that raw, unflinching look at that life, but it's always set against these incredible beats, these intricate rhyme schemes.
Exactly. And get this, he started rapping in high school. Like, we're talking young. Going by the name K-Dot back then.
K-Dot, wow.
Can you imagine those early ciphers?
Oh, man, I bet those high schoolers were floored.
Right. Like, who is this kid? And there are even stories about Dave Free, his creative partner now.
Yeah.
They were classmates.
Yeah.
And Dave would travel, like, actually go out of his way just to watch Kendrick rap.
That's how you know it was something special, even back then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dave saw the vision early on, and it's no surprise they ended up forming this incredible creative partnership that, like, continues to this day.
Talk about a power duo. They started out recording in Dave Free's garage, putting in the work, releasing 5 mixtapes throughout the 2000s. 5.
The grind was real.
And you can hear him evolving with each one, experimenting with different styles, finding his voice.
Oh, totally. And one that really stands out, his third mixtape, C4. It was a tribute to Lil Wayne, Tyke Carter III specifically.
Okay, I remember that one.
Yeah, you can hear Lil Wayne's influence for sure, the speed, the wordplay. But even then, Kendrick's putting his own spin on it. There's social commentary, introspection. It's not just imitation, it's like absorbing those influences and then shaping them into something new.
So it's less about copying, more about like finding his own lane within hip hop. Would you say that's accurate?
100%. And that's something you see throughout his career. This real intentionality, this awareness of his own artistic journey. Like even the decision to change his name from K-Dot to Kendrick Lamar, that was a conscious choice. He wanted a name that reflected his growth.
It's like leveling up, but in the music world.
Right.
And you could say that evolution, that dedication, that's what led to his breakthrough in 2011, the album that really put him on the map, Section .80.
Yeah, what a debut.
Yeah.
This is where we get the full Kendrick Lamar experience, That blend of conscious rap, those jazz influences, tackling these big, important issues.
He wasn't afraid to get real, to talk about race, poverty, survival. And he did it in a way that felt so personal, but also like universal at the same time. It's interesting, though, because, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
the album got rave reviews, the critics loved it, but it wasn't an instant commercial success.
It wasn't this massive overnight hit, no.
So what changed?
Well, it was more of a gradual thing. It got people talking, the right people.
Eating that buzz.
Yeah, exactly. And then enter Dr. Dre. I mean, talk about a legend. The godfather of West Coast hip-hop.
Huge name.
He sees something special in Kendrick, calls him, get this, the new king of the West Coast.
Oh.
Signs him to Aftermath Entertainment.
Big move. But can you imagine the pressure being compared to like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, carrying that legacy on your shoulders?
Oh, massive pressure, especially for someone still relatively new to the game.
Yeah.
But Kendrick, he didn't just handle it, he thrived. 2012, he drops Good Kid, MAAD City, Game Over.
This wasn't just an album, it was an experience. You felt like you were right there in Compton with him.
100%.
Yeah.
That's storytelling. So vivid, so raw. And the crazy thing is, it resonated with people who had never even been to Compton.
Right.
Because at its core, it's about those universal experiences. Growing up, facing adversity, trying to find your place.
And the music itself, how did that play into the storytelling?
Oh, man, it's like he created a sonic world, Yeah. You've got those classic hip-hop beats, but then he brings in jazz, these soulful melodies. He's got spoken word interludes, even voicemails from his mom.
Wow.
Yeah, it's immersive. And it's still his longest charting hip-hop album ever.
Over a decade later, that says it all.
Right. But as groundbreaking as Good Kid, MAAD City was, Kendrick, he's not one to rest on his laurels. 3 years later, boom, To Pimp a Butterfly.
What is a whole other, I don't even know.
A whole other level.
Yeah.
I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly, it's art. Pure artistry. It's this tapestry of sound.
Yeah.
Jazz, funk, soul, spoken word. He even throws in some free jazz elements.
Ambitious.
It's challenging, experimental. Honestly, it's breathtaking.
This was bigger than music, too, right? I remember it sparked all these conversations about race, identity, what it means to be Black in America.
Absolutely. It was a cultural moment.
Yeah.
And he did it all within this really complex narrative, drawing inspiration from a caterpillar's transformation into a butterfly.
Right. Right.
But it's more than just personal growth. It's about Black consciousness, the struggle for liberation.
Heavy stuff.
It is, but it never feels preachy because it's all rooted in his own experiences, his own vulnerabilities.
That's what makes it so powerful.
Exactly. He's asking these tough questions, challenging himself, challenging us to think deeper.
And the accolades, I mean, they were everywhere. It's his first #1 album, 11 Grammy nominations.
The most for a rapper ever at that point.
Wow. So what do you think it was about this album that really resonated with the Recording Academy?
I think they recognized the artistry, the importance of what he was doing. This wasn't just a collection of songs, it was a statement.
It was a statement. And it earned him a Pulitzer Prize, the first rapper ever to receive that honor.
A landmark moment for hip-hop. It solidified its place as a true art form.
So after To Pimp a Butterfly, such a massive success, how do you even follow that? What do you do next?
Well, Kendrick, being Kendrick, he zigged when everyone thought he would zag. He goes in a completely different direction with his next album, Damn.
Different how? Like, what's the vibe?
It's more stripped back, more introspective. If To Pimp a Butterfly was this huge, expansive kind of thing, Damn is Kendrick wrestling with his own demons, questions of faith, inner conflict, that duality we all have inside us.
I can dig it. And musically, did he switch things up there too?
He did. I mean, there's still that jazz influence, but it's more traditional hip-hop, even some trap elements in the mix.
Interesting. Okay, so how'd it do? Did it reach To Pimp a Butterfly level?
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah.
Debuted at #1, won a Grammy for Best Rap Album, even got nominated for another Pulitzer.
Wow, 2 Pulitzer nominations. That's incredible. Okay, so then that brings us to, and this is his most recent album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And this one felt different again, like really personal.
For sure, it's vulnerable. Like, he's really going there.
In what way?
He talks about being in therapy, unpacking all this generational trauma, his relationships, dealing with, like, cancel culture even.
Wow.
Yeah, it's raw.
It's like he's inviting us into those therapy sessions with him, making us think about our own baggage, our own struggles. And I think that's what's so amazing, how he can be so personal and still speak to these bigger issues.
He's got this way of weaving those two things together.
Yeah.
The personal and the political. And Mr. Morale, it created this space for honesty, for healing. I think it really hit home for a lot of people, especially coming out of the pandemic and everything.
It's true. It's like he's not just evolving as an artist, but as a person. And he's bringing us along for the ride.
And that's not even touching on everything else he's got going on.
Right.
Put Glang, the company he co-founded with Dave Free.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing some incredible stuff, pushing creative boundaries. They've got Baby Keem signed to them, Kendrick's own cousin.
That's right.
They even did the soundtrack for Black Panther.
Oh, man, that soundtrack was fire, fit perfectly with the movie.
See, it just shows his range.
Yeah.
That he can do it all. And his activism, too. Meeting with President Obama, speaking out about social justice. This is an artist who uses his platform to make a difference.
It's a lot, like to go from freestyling in high school to winning a Pulitzer Prize, having #1 albums, and then putting out these incredibly personal, introspective projects. It's a wild journey.
And he's done it his way.
Yeah.
On his own terms. Always pushing the envelope, never shying away from a challenge.
So what's next for Kendrick Lamar? What's his legacy going to be?
That's the big question, isn't it? He's already cemented himself as a legend, but it feels like he's just getting started.
I know. It's exciting. Every time you think you have him figured out, he switches it up. So we'll be watching, listening, waiting to see what he does next.
Because one thing's for sure, it'll be something special.
It always is. And there you have it. Another deep dive in the books. If you haven't already, go check out Kendrick Lamar's music. You won't be disappointed. Until next time.